I don't know if any of you guys are aware, but the reason that any of these presidents or Trump can get on TV and be racist in plain daylight is because you voted for him. Let me give you an example. If no one at home watched my videos, I wouldn't exist on YouTube. I would disappear tomorrow. The same can be said about Trump. The only reason he's able to do and say what he wants to say on national TV is because you voted for him. You fools. If everyone stopped voting, Trump would not exist.
I mean, he's not saying that we're all rapists.
It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people.
Because I have family members that are involved in this stuff, and they are in a state jail at this moment, and I would love nothing better but for them to be deported.
Mr. Trump has a point. There's no accountability of what they're doing. There's no accountability of what they've done.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump!
See, you have Mexican Americans right here voting for this motherfucker. I'm not making this up.
He said, Hispanic is in my blood, American is in my heart.
It's got to be good for us, not bad for us.
That's right.
Now, for the sake of conversation today, I'm just going to play a few segments of Trump's racist remarks in case you forgot what he's been saying for the last couple years. Then, I'm going to circle back to my initial premise to prove to you that voting has caused more problems for black people than it's actually helped them.
Trump urged African Americans to give him a chance.
What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals, and we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before. With me, it's freedom of speech, very simple. Like it, don't like it, it's freedom of speech.
Would you be comfortable with your supporters displaying the Confederate battle flag at political events?
You know, it depends on what your definition is, but I am comfortable with freedom of speech.
Do you think that disenfranchised, disaffected 22-year-old Muslim American is less or more likely to turn to ISIS?
Jake, we got to stop the problem. We can talk about it. We can talk about it forever. There's a real problem, and it's called radical Islamic
but are you making
terrorism.
It worse?
Wait a minute.
There are reports. I got to look at a bunch of studies here that say there's actually no correlation between illegal immigration and crime, and that in fact immigrants actually commit crimes at a lower number.
You're not a baby. Okay, you're not a baby.
I'm not saying there's not a lot of individual
coming
cases.
in are causing tremendous problems. In terms of crime, in terms of murder, in terms of rape.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
Research suggests that black people are about 3 times more likely to be killed by police than white people.
They're coming from all over the world. I'm not just talking about Mexico.
We're talking Central America as well, but you're saying that there is a correlation between...
And you're probably talking about the Middle East, and you're talking about other places. The southern border is a disaster. Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human traffickers out of business.
Back when he announced his candidacy, the day he announced his candidacy in 2015, he made inflammatory remarks about Mexican immigrants. According to the New York Times, he complained that the 15,000 Haitian immigrants who received visas in 2017 all have AIDS. In that very same meeting, the Times reports, he said that once the 40,000 Nigerian immigrants given visas arrived in the U.S., they would never go back to their huts. The White House denies this report. During the presidential election, Donald Trump referred to a Gold Star mother, saying, look at his wife. She was standing there, just standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say, implying that she was being silenced because of the family's Muslim faith. Candidate Trump also went after a U.S. district judge who presided over fraud allegations against Trump University, citing the judge's Mexican heritage.
We're building a wall. He's a Mexican. We're building a wall between here and Mexico. The answer is he is giving us very unfair rulings.
All right, at a White House ceremony very recently honoring Navajo code talkers, the president used a nickname for Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren that many people may have found offensive.
You were here long before any of us were here, although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
All right, early last year, he asked journalist White House correspondent April Ryan if she could help him set up a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus.
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Hispanic
Caucus?
Well, I would. I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some.
And during a presidential debate, he generalized the lives of minority communities.
African Americans, Hispanics are living in hell because it's so dangerous. You walk down the street, you get shot.
Now, for the people at home who are still not convinced in regards to everything that I just showed them tonight, and they still need more proof that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is dirty, don't worry. I have 2 more examples right here that will be the final nails in the coffin for both parties.